the score was tied 38-38 as both teams' offense displayed enormous prowess and productivity in the first 3 quarters of the game, with wide receiver Randall Jackson accumulating 3 touchdowns and 244 yards thus far. But his day was far from over. Coach Bindelhoff called for a direct snap to Jackson, thinking they could run the clock, yet still gain enough yards to keep the running game an option. But defensive end Lando Morris had other plans in mind, as his penetrating aggressiveness held the Jackals to a mere 80 total rushing yards and accumulated 2 sacks. The Jackals realized they could no longer utilize their running game and would have to go to the air. To keep the chains moving, Bindelhoff decided on a quick turnaround route to Jackson, but cornerback Stephen McGillicuddy seemed to be in the offensive huddle as he sniffed out the play with a display of graceful athleticism. The desperation to score was now immeasurable, as Misha Lindo-Sminofanowski punched in the extra point. The pressure was on the Jackals to score now just to stay in the game, but things looked grim with the fired-up defensive unit of the Rodents and the hard-hitting powerhouse of middle linebacker Anderson Fletcher. Due to his acute awareness and ubiquitous presence, passing over the middle was a wasted effort, and the clock was still ticking at 25 seconds. The Jackals were in a hurry-up offense to beat the time and to try to catch the defense off guard. But it was the defense who possessed the element of surprise as they sent in the blitz, causing a tipped pass and a near interception that would have ended the game and the chances for the Jackals to pull off their first Backyard Superbowl victory. It was time to act. Being 3rd down with only 15 seconds left in the game, Coach Bindelhoff and the Jackals knew they would have to score on this play. But it was quarterback Jack Russell who read something wrong in the defense and called for an audible, sending Jackson in motion to the left side. It was a stop-and-go route, and McGillicuddy bit hard, assuming they would try to move the ball followed by a spike to get better field position for a final Hail Mary, leaving no one else in the secondary to pick up the gazelle-like speed and grace of Randall Jackson. But the game wasn't over, as they were still down by 1, and kicker Mirovovic was nursing an injured knee from an attempted tackle on a kickoff in the 3rd quarter. The team knew a PAT was not an option, but Russell had something up his sleeve to get the victory right then and there. It was a fake, catching the defense off guard, who flocked to the tight end Wally Michaels. Russell threw it cross-field to Mirovovic. Legendary status was reached on that faithful frosty October day, and backyard football enthusiasts will always remember the comeback of Super Bowl 5.